Welcome to episode 139 of the Sports Marketing Machine podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Nizer, the show that helps you sell more tickets, sell more merchandise, and grow your fan base. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that you've probably heard this as a buzzword on maybe a podcast or your ads rep shared with you, or maybe you saw in a YouTube video, or you've heard it before, but maybe you don't know exactly what it means. CRO, conversion rate optimization. I'm going to explain in this podcast episode what it is, what it isn't, how it can help you, and what are some things that are completely out of your hands so CRO doesn't really even matter. We know everybody wants to sell more tickets and sell more merchandise, and conversion rate optimization can help with it. So let's get to it. What CRO actually means for your team. In the digital marketing space, CRO stands for conversion rate optimization. It is the process of increasing the percentage of people who take a desired action. That could be buying tickets, filling out a form, joining your kids club, buying merchandise, whatever it is. So I'm going to look at the first part of that, conversion rate. What actually does that mean? So let me break it down as simple as possible. Conversion rate is the number of people who did action A that led to action B. So this is conversion rate is I have 1,000 visitors to my website and 100 bought. 100 people bought, 1,000 visitors, that's a conversion rate of 10%. So if we're talking about conversion rate optimization, we're saying, hey, how do I turn that 10% to 20%? To 30%. Another example here, fans who open your email and click buy now. We had 5,000 opens, 2,500 click the buy now button. That's 50% conversion rate. But how do we improve it? And that's where CRO stands for. That's conversion rate optimization. Before we dig into what knobs you can turn, there are some things that you can control and there are some things you cannot control. So what can you not control? You cannot control how your ticketing software operates and works. So if your ticketing software makes it 6 clicks before you actually buy something, or you force people to fill out the form and collect their information before they buy something, right? Like, you cannot control how your ticketing software operates. They should be thinking about, the ticketing software should be thinking about, how do they make it easier for people to buy stuff? Like, we think about Amazon, you click 2 buttons and you got a box on your front porch the next day. Like, that is the best conversion rate optimization that you could do because they've simplified it so much. So you cannot control your ticketing software, but there's a whole lot of other things you can control. The copy and the creative, the words and visuals you use to make fans feel like they're attending something that would be fun, easy, worth it, value to them. So not just a family night, it's a Friday night that feels like a summer vacation, fireworks, family time, 0 dishes to clean, right? So your copy and your creative is definitely something that you can control. The offer friction piece of this, making the call to action as crystal clear as possible. Remember, you only have one in your offer, whatever it is. It could be your email blast, could be on the website, whatever it is. One offer per landing page, per ad, per email, whatever it is. It should say something like buy tickets, which is a very strong call to action and is way better than click here to learn more. Like, nobody wants to learn more. In many cases, if you're pushing tickets, they want to buy now. That's what you're asking them to do. The landing page layout is another thing that you can control. So if your ad shows families attending your sporting event, don't send them to some dense pricing gig page that's got all this stuff on there, right? No one wants to see that pricing grid with a bunch of different logos. They want to see the same visual or a similar visual from the ad. That's called ad congruency, right? So you want to match things. But the point is, you can control how your landing page looks. You can control what your offer says. You can control the copy and the creative. You can control a little bit of your website, how fast the page loads. You can also control the follow-up messaging. When someone goes to the page and buys, or goes to the page and doesn't buy, and you want to retarget them with ads, you most certainly can. Those are the things you can control. You cannot fix and you cannot control your ticketing software if it has a multi-step checkout process, or this confusing create an account first, or the cart that times out after a violation, or what are those things. You cannot control that, but you can control the copy on the page. You can control how the page looks. You can control your call to action. You can control, in many cases, how fast the page loads. Those are the things you can control. So what should you track and what should you try to improve? The simplest thing that I like to look at with sports teams are your emails. Your email and your website are your two highest ROI things that you have for your team. So I always like to track how many people do we get to the website, and out of that, how many people bought single game tickets. On average, for most teams, it's 2.5% of visitors. So if you had 100 people, 2.5 people actually bought something. You got a lot of tire kickers. But how do you improve that? You improve that by you improving your ad, improving the copy, making it easier to get to the page, making the page simple, and having all of the information on there that they need. That's what you can track. And those are some things you clearly can improve. On the email side of things, a lot of teams like to put so much information in their emails that it can be, overwhelming. So in order to improve your conversion rate, to optimize it, so CRO for your emails, keep it super simple. Keep it short, punchy, a clear call to action. Remember, if you had 1,000 people click on your ad, but only 10 buy, your problem isn't the ad targeting in most cases. It's really what happens after the click. I talked about in episode 132 a traffic problem that a team had that we were able to uncover and help them improve the targeting of their ads. It's such a great episode because more traffic does not always mean more sales. So really what we're talking about here is you can only control what you can control. That's the copy, the creative, the clarity around your messaging, and the follow-up. CRO isn't magic. It's math. Small tweaks at every little step of the way. Cleaner copy, maybe a faster page, maybe smaller images so a page loads faster, simpler call to action with very strong messaging, really including urgency of when things will happen. Those are the things that you really should be thinking about, because those are the things you can control. Don't worry about what you can't control. You can only control the controllables, but keep track of them. How many people went to your website this month and how many people purchased? Out of that, how much money did they spend with you? Those are the things that I really like to dig into with teams, because at that point you start to understand the people earlier in the season are buying the more expensive tickets, and your conversion rate on your website is higher, 4 or 5%. Things are cooking. But as your season progresses, that's when you start to think about what else can you do to improve or keep that conversion rate higher. Maybe you're tweaking your emails. Maybe you're tweaking the copy, or keeping the communication shorter and simpler on your social media posts to see if we can drive more ticket sales. If today's episode helped you to see what CRO is, conversion rate optimization, in a new way, share it with someone who's just like you, someone working in sports trying to sell more tickets and grow your fan base. If you're really needing to unpack what actually happened with your ticket sales and your marketing, let's talk. Happy to chat for 30 minutes to really unpack what I see and areas of opportunity for you as you start to plan and prepare and work through all the things that you're working on. So you can always reach out to me completely free. I'm just here to help you sell more tickets and grow your fan base. I'm at sportsmarketingmachine.com. Until next time.